We've got to do more on Friday's debate. As you know, myself and Kristin Tate were predicting for, of course, these debates were going to be disastrous. So let's let Kristin take it from here.
Yes, I mean, this could have been the most consequential presidential debate in at least modern political history. It's done for Joe Biden. I mean, it could not have been more of a disaster. During and after that debate, Chris, I received so many exasperated and panicked messages from liberals, some of whom I haven't even heard from a decade, stating that they were in complete shock over Biden's physical and mental state. And every single one of these Democrats told me that they think he needs to step down and be replaced with another candidate. And it's not just voters saying this, Chris. It is the elite of the elite in the Democratic Party. The New York Times itself, the editorial board said that he needs to step down at this point. And it's not just them. The New Yorker, The Economist, many other publications have done the same. So the president was at Camp David this weekend. Apparently he met with his family to discuss what he will do moving forward. But I've read that his family, especially Hunter Biden, who has been a key player in his advisory, has said that he should stick it out. So I don't know what's going to happen if he refuses to leave and all the powers that be want him gone.
Look, it's extraordinary stuff. And I think, as you say, that editorial board of the New York Times calling for him to stand down as the president, to not seek a second term, is very telling. The New York Times is the Bible of the liberal left in the United States, of course. But I want to talk about a dynamic here that won't be surprising to our viewers, Kristin, but I think it's very important to the dynamic in the United States. And that is, while we've been highlighting for years all the classic examples of where Joe Biden is losing his way and stumbling and bumbling and showing that he's not up to the job, the media, the mainstream media in the US, hasn't really focused on that a lot. So people might have been surprised when they switched on the debate and watched it. They saw stuff like this for perhaps the first time.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
Completely lost, Kristin, completely confused and nowhere to hide, and no media manipulation able to draw attention away from it.
Yes, I mean, to your point earlier, though, it's kind of mind-blowing to me how shocked Democrat voters are about Biden's poor mental and physical state. I mean, every single week, you and I are talking about some new mortifying incident exposing the fact that he's basically been a houseplant for the last few years. But I guess, so many liberals, they just blindly believe whatever the media tells them. And the media and the Democrats, they thought that they could control reality by controlling the narrative. They do this with everything. They do this with the open border, which they tell us is secure. They do it with our cities, where they tell us crime is actually totally under control. And they were doing it with Joe Biden, telling us he's totally with it. He's the smartest guy in the room. Green John Peer gets up there at the podium and tells us, oh, he's never been sharper. But every once in a while, Chris, reality pokes through and exposes the truth. And in this case, it has completely shattered their faux narrative about Joe Biden. So now the entire establishment on the Democrat side is panicked and they don't know what to do.